Okay, we're getting down to the last two. These are two of my absolute favorites. All right, so this one is about something that to this day is still changing my life, right? So it's been 30 years that this next miracle that I've been feeling the beautiful effects of this next miracle. And so I was in my early 30s, and I would hear commercials for people doing accents. And one time there was this French accent, and I thought, oh, I can do so much better than that. And one day there was a New York accent, and somebody in the commercial was doing a New York accent. I thought, oh my gosh, I can do so much better than that. And I can do Southern, and I can do quite well with British. And so I love doing accents. And every time I'd hear an accent on the radio, I'd go, oh, I wonder how you get to do voice work. So I decided, well, I'm going to do voice work someday. And just put it on my dream board. Well, I'm a singer, and I was asked to be the first ever female soloist on the Jesuits album. It's a group of Catholic priests. So I sang the Magnificat on the Jesuit album one day in a recording studio. It was a huge honor. It was very exciting. And after we were leaving the studio, we were all walking up together, and all of a sudden I saw a room that was called Studio B, and the light would go on, red, do not enter, recording. No, I think it just said recording. Yeah, recording. And then the light would go off, and then the light would go on, recording, meaning don't come in, and then the light would go off. So I tried to hear through the door, and I said, oh, I know, go ahead without me. I was trying to listen. I couldn't really hear, but I waited till the next time the light went off, and I knocked nice and loud. And they said, come in, and I stuck my head, and I said, is there any way I could come in and just listen and observe? And they go, oh, sure. And as it turns out, there's what's called a director's couch that's there just for people to observe or direct or whatever. So I got to sit on the director's couch, and I watched these people sing jingles. O.M. goodness. It was so awesome. It was two people, but they did all the parts. So it sounded, by the time they were done, like 16 people had sung this jingle. And I was just amazed. And I said, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Anyway, so the session ended, and I turned around and said, thank you so much to the producer and to the engineer, and congratulated the talent on doing a wonderful job. And I said, this has just been so fun. I just can't thank you enough. And they said, well, do you sing? And I said, well, I actually just soloed on the Jesuit album. They go, the Jesuits asked a woman to solo? Whoa, you must be pretty good. And the producer said, would you like to audition for us? And I said, yeah, oh, I'd love that. Let me prepare something. And she goes, no, just go in there right now and sing the Star Spangled Banner. I'll give you the starting note, no vibrato. Now I know what no vibrato means, right? And so I went in, and I totally nervous, right? But how much time did I have to be nervous? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I can sing without vibrato. And when I was done, she said, you're really good. I think we might be able to use you. And I said, great. And so I went in, and she took my name and phone number and wrote it on a little sheet of paper and said, okay, well, we usually record on Thursdays. And I said, I'm a teacher. It's June. I've got all summer, so I'd love to sing for you. So that next Thursday, you know where I was? I was sitting right next to the phone waiting for it to ring, but it didn't ring. And so I waited, and I said, well, maybe they're going to call me next Thursday. Who knows? And the next Thursday, the phone still did not ring. So on that Friday, I got out a sheet of paper, and I wrote a little note, just a little thank you note. And I said, dear Sandy, thank you so much for letting me audition the other day and letting me sit in and listen. I've always wanted to be a jingle singer, but the fact that I haven't heard from you for 2 weeks and you said you'd probably call makes me wonder if I'm really good enough. So if I'm not good enough, I really would appreciate you telling me that. Or maybe you've just met other talent that's better. It's all good, but I'm going to call you next week on Wednesday, and I wanted to give the letter time to get there, right? I would love to just have a really short conversation with you where you tell me really if I ever will be able to sing jingles and do voice work and all this good stuff. And so literally I remember my hand shaking as I put that in the mailbox. See, risk. It's just part of the deal. You've got to take risks. And I did. Anyway, so on Wednesday I called like 10 minutes after they opened, and the secretary answered, and she said, oh, Sandy's waiting for your call. Yeah, I'll put you right through. And I went, oh, what does that mean? And Sandy answered, and she goes, MK, it's so good to talk to you. We lost your number. And there are so many Muellers in the phone book, we couldn't figure out which one we were. Now, this is back in the day when women didn't put their first names. They put their married names, right? So it was Mrs. John Mueller. I'm trying to think. I just know it. You didn't put your first name. Isn't that crazy? So I said, oh my gosh. And she goes, hey, we're doing a special session tomorrow. Can you come in? Right? That was Thursday again. And I became the top jingle singer in Omaha, Nebraska. They used me more than anybody else, not because I was the best, but because I was reliable and just, all the fun things of being a jingle singer. So that would be a nice end to the story, except that one day at the end of our singing session, she said, oh gosh, I got to find somebody who can do an old lady. And I said, how old do you want her, sweetie? And I did it better than that. Anyway, she goes, you do voices? And I go, I love to do voices. And that's how I became the top voice talent in Omaha, is because I did both singing and speaking. And to this day, I still am doing voice work. It pays very well. I have a little studio right here in my home with a little microphone, and when they send me the copy, I say, if you'd like the main menu, press 9. So, guys, yeah, one dream can bless you for decades to come. Talk later.